I've just finished episode 3 of Living World Season 1, and just as I did with 1 and 2, I'll continue to review these as they come out. This one has just come out a couple days ago, and it was pretty good. I think that on the whole, I enjoyed 1 and 2 more for the setup, even though I now know, because I finished Heart of Thorns, what episode 3 is setting up. But I think that episode 3 as a standalone episode is really, really solid. From this point on, of course, I want to say full spoilers for Living World Season 1, Episode 3. If you haven't played it yet, it's really not that long. Just go ahead and play it, and then you can come back to this video. But I really enjoyed the Playhouse, and I'm going to get to that in a little bit. I really enjoyed the setup in the opening and everything going on there. I was a little bit cautious about this episode before going into it, because I had already finished Heart of Thorns and was afraid that Scarlet as a villain wouldn't really pay off very well, because I knew what the twist was, right? But I actually feel like Scarlet had a really strong introduction. The Queen's Jubilee and everything going on there with the Watch Knights. I figured by the fact that I didn't know anything about the Watch Knights, even though I'm further on in the game than here, told me that the Watch Knights didn't work out. And Scarlet's being able to take advantage of them from what I know of Scarlet from Living World Season 2 and from Heart of Thorns, just really hammered home for me. As soon as the Watch Knight showed up, I was like, yeah, Scarlet's going to wind up taking control of these. And of course, she does. And I find Scarlet to be a really interesting villain, because she scratches that itch of, you know, hey, here's the crazy villain that's doing the bombs in the city, and you got to go defuse them. And that's a really cool part. And the holograms and mixing things up and being unpredictable and quirky. But I know that that's really not what's going on. That's Scarlet's personality, but it's Scarlet's personality because she's been warped by the ley lines and by Mordramoth in a really cool way. And it gave me like a further appreciation for what's going on that it like hits me harder than if it was just, hey, here's megalomaniacal Vaniac villain. I really like Scarlet in this, and I think that starting off with Logan fighting the Watch Knight is really cool. I tried to cheer, missed the achievement. Gonna have to go back and do that again on another character to be able to get that achievement, but it was pretty cool. And the fact that Annis is like not trusting Logan is really interesting to me. Anise, she's keeping him out of it because she thinks he's too close to the issue of protecting Queen Jenna, which I think is a really interesting dynamic that I didn't know existed between the two of them, which makes me appreciate those two characters even more. And that's kind of where I'm at with this entire chapter, this third chapter of Living World Season 1, is that it makes me appreciate the characters just a little bit more. Rox, of course, is great, and this is where we're getting to see Rox wanting to be able to join Ritlock's warband, and so it's trying to, be good and make sure she takes the right shot. She misses the shot and winds up beating herself up for it. We can see Bram, and Bram is, Bram as always, kabram, right? Kabam. But you get this really nice moment towards the end where he wants to go help you fight Scarlet, but he wants to make sure that the hostages are taken care of more, which is really solid, and I think is good characterization for him that I like a lot, especially where he's at right here before we get into the stuff with Heart of Thorns. And then Lord Farron gets some pretty interesting characterization here. I wound up really enjoying Lord Farron, and I hope I can see more of him as the Season 1 goes on, and maybe hopefully later seasons, because I really wound up liking him quite a bit. You get into the actual, fighting the Watch Knights, and those fights are okay. I think that the cool Watch Knights are like the big ones. The little ones are okay, and you have to destroy them before they can repair the other ones. That's a cool mechanic, but it's the big ones that I think are really cool. And then you get the Clockwork Invasion going on in Gandharan Fields, which is pretty solid. I think that finding the parts is a really cool way to get around that, where you don't just have to do the events. Much like in Sky Pirates, where you could go and find the notes instead of just doing the events, but you could also just do the events if you wanted to. All that leads up to going into the Playhouse itself, which is like the bulk of this season, right? It's a pretty long instance, in a good way, I think, as you work your way through that entire area that you got to see down below when you were in the opening areas of the Queen's Jubilee. And you work your way through there, and you find the hostages, and you free Farron, and you fight Scarlet. And I really enjoyed that Scarlet fight. I think that was a really, really solid boss fight, really cool mechanically. Having to build up to it with the first two phases, and then the third phase uses mechanics from the first two phases. It's always a really nice touch for me. I love when games do that. And I really did enjoy that fight, even if I don't think it was necessarily very difficult. I think that mixing everything in together and trying to stay alive for the sake of that achievement and not ever going down was fun and challenging, and I liked it a lot. All told, where this ends with Marjorie's coming in and Logan's there and he doesn't trust Anise, and Marjorie's trying to figure out, just who Scarlet is and that she used to be Sierra and everything going on with Radasum. And I'm really excited to see how this ties in with Timey, because I know that next episode should be Timey adding into it. And although I know how this all ends, because I know that we have to go find Scarlet's lab and everything in Living World Season 2, I'm really stoked to see how it connects. And please, again, don't spoil in the comment section down below, because I'm looking forward to playing the rest of these as they come out. I know these may be short reviews all told, but it really is just the one episode to talk about. But again, I think it's absolutely worth playing, and you get a 20 slot bag for finishing it, which is great for free. So let me know your thoughts on Living World Season 3, or Living World Season 1, Episode 3, Clockwork Chaos, in the comment section down below. And until next time, I've been Trey. This has been The Full Spectrum. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum. Guild Wars 2 has to offer.